Now, after taking charge as the Home Minister, Amit Shah will be visiting Jammu and Kashmir today. On the first day of his two-day visit, Amit Shah is likely to co-chair a meeting of Unified Command with Governor Satyapal Malik to discuss the current security situation in the valley. He will also focus on steps on counter-terror measures in the backdrop of the Pulwama terror attack. The Home Minister will also be reviewing the security situation for the Amarnath Yatra along with paying obeisance at the Amarnath Shrine. On his second day, Amit Shah will meet the family of martyred Inspector of Jammu and Kashmir Police Arshad Khan, who was killed in a Fedayeen attack on the CRPF on June 12th in Anantnag. Meanwhile, Shiv Sena Dogra Front held demonstration in Jammu ahead of Amit Shah's visit. They demand that Amit Shah should not accept any invitation of talks with the Hurriyat leaders.
कौन हुर्रियत, कैसी हुर्रियत, क्या रिप्रेजेंटेशन है हुर्रियत की, क्या चुनाव लड़ा उन्होंने? ये बातें कभी बर्दाश्त नहीं होंगी। कौन चाहता है बातचीत? गवर्नर साहब चाहते हैं बातचीत। गवर्नर साहब ने क्या कहा? हुर्रियत बातचीत चाहती है, हम बातचीत नहीं चाहते। अब जो इंडियन को कुत्ता कहते हैं उनसे बातचीत करेंगे। गवर्नर साहब को भी विचार करना होगा, हम किससे बातें नहीं करेंगे।
ये जो कश्मीर की बरतरी हालत है, इसके लिए उसे कुछ करना चाहिए। उसके लिए अगर उसे हुर्रियत वालों के साथ बात करनी चाहिए तो करनी चाहिए, या पाकिस्तान के साथ बात करनी चाहिए तो करनी चाहिए। कश्मीर को फिर से जन्नत बनाना चाहिए।
एज पर जो माहौल है अभी कश्मीर का, मुझे लगता है बेटर रहेगा अगर बातचीत रहेगी। अगर बातचीत हो जाएगी दोनों दरमियान, हुर्रियत के दरमियान, गवर्नमेंट के दरमियान, तो बेटर रहेगा। एक्सपेक्टेशन यही रहेगी कि जो भी हो वो कश्मीर के फेवर में हो और हालात ठीक हो। अल्लाह चाहे, अल्लाह करे कि ये सब कुछ ठीक हो जाए।
Let's just try and tell you, since Amit Shah has taken over as the Home Minister, what is the situation as far as the terror front goes in Jammu and Kashmir? The government, even in the first Modi tenure, kept saying that talks and terror can't go in hand. The government, in fact, the approach of the government was of a very muscular approach, operation all out, going all out against the Hurriyat as well. That has resulted in number of terrorists being killed, but that has not yet fully stopped as far as the terrorism from across the border is concerned. Now, let's just very quickly take a look at what has happened since Amit Shah has taken over. Now, the number of attacks since the new Home Minister Amit Shah has taken over, number of terrorists killed so far, 15. This is the data till June 17, 2019. Now, 15 terrorists have been killed. Security forces who have been martyred in these attacks. 8 security forces personnel have been killed so far. And as far as the number of civilians goes, it's 2. So the killing as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned of the security forces, the terrorists and the civilians has in fact been on the rise. Now let me very quickly go across to my colleague Shuja Thakur, who's joining me with more details from Srinagar on this. Shuja, what is the biggest challenge that you see for the new Home Minister? The BJP has had a very muscular approach as far as the terror in Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. How do you see him going forward? Okay, so we'll just fix that line with Shuja and get back to him with more details. There is some audio problem with Shuja. Let me very quickly at this point of time also just put few questions that will in fact put the entire story in context as far as Amit Shah's maiden visit to Srinagar is concerned. The first question that we are putting out this Wednesday morning, Amit Shah to set a new Kashmir roadmap. That will be very, very cleanly and closely watched. What is the new change that the Home Minister brings with him? New counter-terror policy under the new Home Minister. CRPF is under the Home Minister, largely in the entire Kashmir, in the entire valley, in the main, in fact, cities and the towns. It is the CRPF which is helping the Jammu and Kashmir police with the law and order. Can the new Home Minister curb radicalization? This has been a big challenge for the government to make sure that the local youths are not radicalized and they don't pick up a gun. We saw the spurt after Burhan Wani was killed. Has that now come down with the all-out approach, the Operation All-Out approach of the government? And question number 4, will Amit Shah take up Hurriyat talk offer? This is a very significant moment as well. A lot of analysts saying that Hurriyat is under a lot of pressure. Is it just a delaying tactic by Hurriyat? How is the new Home Minister looking at it? We'll try and discuss all this with our guest. Let me introduce our guests, those who are joining us this morning. We have Retired Major General Harsha Kakkar, defense expert, who is with us this morning. We also have Gopal Krishna Agarwal. He is from the Bharatiya Janata Party. And we also have joining us from Srinagar, Inam-ul-Nabi, political analyst based in the Kashmir, in fact, Srinagar. Let me very quickly first bring in fact, Inam-ul-Nabi. Mr. Nabi, I just want to understand from you as a political analyst and as a Kashmiri, what are your expectations of the new Home Minister and the government?
Ankit, let me welcome first the Honorable Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah to Kashmir Valley. Number one. Number second, if this government, if Modi ji's government owns Kashmir and Kashmiris, then we are expecting that he will inaugurate the new era of engagement between Srinagar and New Delhi. You know, there had been operations all the time, starting from early 90s till, and which is continuing still now. From catch and kill to Operation All Out, from Balakot to surgical strikes, there had been number of operations, but still we can see increase in violence, increase in number of killings, whether it is the civilians or the security forces Jawans, increase in number of people joining the militancy ranks. So it is better to have dialogue with the all stakeholders, including the Hurriyat, without any condition, so that peace can be prevailed in the valley.
Inam Sahab, stay on with me. Let me also bring in Gopal Krishna Agarwal at this point of time. Agarwal Sahab, what is, Inam just spelled out a few of the things that they are expecting as far as the new Home Minister is concerned. And on the top of the list is dialogue, bridging this gap, perceptional gap that in fact is between the government of India and the people of Jammu and Kashmir, between Srinagar and Delhi, specifically after the fall of the coalition government in the state of Jammu and Kashmir about 2.5 years back. Now, I just want to understand from you, as somebody who is related to the Bharatiya Janata Party, what is your position on this issue of talks that Hurriyat, the offer of talks that Hurriyat has put forward?
So what we have been telling, that governor has said that Hurriyat has offered to talk, but as far as the current government, our government is concerned, the Home Minister have not accepted that we are going to talk with Hurriyat, because ultimately the issue is not only just go on continuing talking and not getting some results. The Hurriyat had been under pressure now because of some actions from the government. They have been propagating and supporting terrorist activities. They were some kind of supporting the activities which were the separatists were getting support from the Hurriyat. They were getting finance. Some reports were there. They were getting finance from across the border. So all these issues have to be sorted out, and you cannot just go on talking with these kind of activities. So the current status is that the people who were feeling alienated, young people, people of the Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir, who have to be brought into the economic growth, economic development across the country, the same level of facilities, the same status, those are more important just other than just talking to Hurriyat. How much support they have, what are their actions, what they want. So there are so many issues which have come out of Hurriyat's actions.
Right.
So at present, I don't think the government is ready for the talk with the Hurriyat.
Okay.
And,
okay. Let me get in. Major General Kakkar on this. General Kakkar, what are the immediate security challenges that you see in front of the new government and the new Home Minister? Amarnath Yatra to begin with, but what is it that the government, should be preparing to face as far as the Kashmir crisis is concerned, sir? General Kakkar, can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, I can hear you. Could you repeat your question again, please?
Yes. I was just trying to understand what, in your opinion, are the biggest challenges for the new Home Minister and the government. We saw and we discussed in detail for the last many years as far as the previous Modi stint is concerned when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir. There were many times when we saw that it was an approach which was slightly confusing, talks today and then right in the end of their tenure, an all-out operation also going on, squeezing the Hurriyat conference as well. How do you see this going forward? What are the biggest challenges for Amit Shah?
You're not coming clear, but I've got the gist of what you said. At the moment, with the Amarnath Yatra coming in, that becomes a very major issue for the government, ensuring security and making the Amarnath Yatra a success. It'll convey a very strong message. Secondly, as far as the visit is concerned and the issue of talks are concerned, while it may be an offer that you're willing to talk, there would be certain preconditions by the Hurriyat which has not been spelled out now, which is going to be a very dangerous step. The first they would demand is the release of all their people who are behind bars. That is something that the government should not agree till the time the talks have reached a very good level of progress. And secondly, that anyone with a criminal incident will not be released. The second issue which the Hurriyat is going to make is to involve all stakeholders. Pakistan is not, repeat, not a stakeholder, that is out. The third, they have to openly criticize all those who have picked up arms as a case. Because unless they criticize that, they are not agreeing to talks in the right frame. Most importantly, talks are going to be within the Indian Constitution, period. Any talks with Pakistan is Government of India and Pak. Now, as far as the security situation in Kashmir is concerned, very rightly brought out by the governor, infiltration levels are low. Impact of Balakot and FATF have had a severe hit on Pakistan. They've been forced to bring it down. The internal militancy is going to cool down. It's going to take time, but it's going to cool down. The level of flow of people joining militancy is going to reduce.
Yes.
The very fact that every day you're getting hard human int, an accurate human int, indicates that the people want a change. Even whether you may look at low voting percentages, but no violence during voting.
Yes.
No violence. Very few areas where you still have stone throwing. Pulwama is one of those areas. But the fact is that things are reducing, things are changing. And with a successful Amarnath Yatra, you will convey the right message.
All right.
So therefore, the government is now moving on a firm step. No hurry, no rush. We are on a firm stand and we must stick to our firm stand.
Right. Let me bring in Shuja Ulak Thakur as well, my colleague who is joining us from Srinagar. Shuja, we'll have to wait before we go to Shuja, but let me get an Inam Unnabi on this. Inam, you heard what the BJP representative is saying, and you also heard the security expert. At this point of time, the government does believe that they are on a very strong footing when it comes to anti-terror operations. The recruitment, according to the government, is low as far as the across the border help to the terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. That is on an all-time low. The government possibly of the view that at this point of time, it is important to make to ensure that the terrorism activities are reduced only to a couple of areas, and then of course when the government has upper hand, they would possibly want to in fact engage politically as well.
Ankit, let me give credit to this government that first time that Pakistan there is a change in Pakistan's policy pertaining to the Kashmir. Number one, that Pakistan is first time has agreed that they will discuss, they will talk about the terrorism. Number second, that it is first time that the Pakistani government has shared input about a terror attack in Pulwama.
Sir, that is factually incorrect, because as far as the government is concerned, it was made very clear it did not come from any Pakistani official channel. It was an anonymous tip. So we'll just put the facts out. I don't want to interrupt you. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. The third thing that first time the Governor Saab has confessed that there is no infiltration from last 5 months.
So I'll just get that fixed.
From last 5 months, for the 5 months there is no infiltration from Jammu and Kashmir. So if we will sum up all the three developments, then I think that we must initiate dialogue process, number one. Number second, as far as the questions is concerned that killing militancy will lead to the solution, absolutely not. Government has been, the security forces have been killing militants from 1990s, and it has been reduced sometimes at the level when it was looking that there is no militancy, but still there is a problem. People have been joining the militancy. We have been losing our Fauji Jamans, we have been losing the civilians. By operations we will not achieve anything. We are killing the militants. We have failed to kill the militancy. To kill the militancy, we need to initiate dialogue process with the stakeholders so that nobody.
No, but who are these stakeholders that you keep talking about, sir? Is Hurriyat Conference, which has been seen as an opportunistic body, I don't see them as the representatives of the Kashmiris, because we've seen they have failed to in fact speak anything against militancy, against terrorism. They hail every time a Pakistani or a local terrorist is killed, Hurriyat calls for Bandh. So how do you expect the government? There are clear links now being established between the money which is coming in from across the border through Hawala channels to Hurriyat representatives. How do you see the government going forward and talking to Hurriyat? Who are these stakeholders that we are talking to? Shouldn't the Kashmiri civil society, with elections and the political parties, they are the ones that the government should be engaging with, not like Hurriyat, which is opportunistic?
Ankit, it is not first time that government of India has to talk to Hurriyat. There had been number of times. Even it started from the NDA when Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister. He started a dialogue process with the Hurriyat, which was followed by the LK Advani ji. Even the NDA first allowed Hurriyat office in Delhi. Number one. Number second, there had been talks with the militants as well in NDA only. My humble submission will be, if we can engage with all the stakeholders, including the Hurriyat, then we can put forth these conditions that if the talks will have impact, if we'll go ahead, they will use their good offices to convey the militants'
but
leadership
Gopal
that
Krishna
they should
Agarwal,
the violence, they should
we have
the arms.
tread on this road many times before as well, trying to get the Hurriyat to come onto the table, and we have repeatedly burnt our hands. What should the government at this point of time, when Hurriyat Conference is desperate for talks, should the government even trust this? I mean, this always comes at a time when they have their backs to the wall, or there is like Mike Pompeo is at this point of time visiting India, there is a high profile visit of some US official. That is the time Hurriyat wants to talk, and then it's business as usual.
Ankit?
Definitely, Ankit, this is the whole issue. That it is at this point of time, it is not important that we talk to Hurriyat. The issue is the issue is the government feels that we have to act on controlling terrorism, connecting the common man to the economic development, inclusive economic growth, that infrastructure development, ease of living, all those issues. India is poised for a very strong economic growth. We want to connect to the people, youth, for employment, education, economic growth. That's more important, connecting to the people with inclusive growth.
Right.
That's the important thing, and controlling cross-border terrorism. And this, we felt the government feels at present that these actions are more important than talking to just Hurriyat, which is representing only a small fraction of separatist thought. And at present the government is not in a mood given on this line that we want to talk to Hurriyat. We know what is the reason for those offers.
Should be considered as any stakeholder. We have seen this script being repeated time and again. A high profile US visit, Hurriyat wants to talk. At this point of time, the government has pushed with the action against the Hurriyat Conference. They have pushed them to the wall. At this point of time, should the government be even seriously considering this whole talk to us of the Hurriyat Conference?
What I started with by Ankit, that the Hurriyat is today pushed to the wall. Their calls for bandhs are not being answered. Their own misdeeds of using Hawala money for their personal gains, education of their children abroad, while the locals are being forced into militancy and losing lives. The Hurriyat today is nobody in Kashmir per se. But the only problem is that, unluckily, in Kashmir, we have not been able to create an organization to counter the Hurriyat which can actually become a major stakeholder.
Yes.
That has been an error over a collection of decades.
Yes.
And we've let the Hurriyat grow. And unluckily, we've given them a sort of a pedestal over the years, which today is falling.
Yes.
Today, they're in no position to talk, or to hold any strength in the valley. So therefore, they're coming for talks not from a position of strength.
Okay.
But for once, they're coming for talks from a position of weakness. The conditions should be so severe on the Hurriyat. If you're coming in for talks, these are what you will do prior to mentioning talks. We will not release your culprits. Your criminals, especially like Sabir Shah, will be behind, will not move for talks. So are the others like Andrea and the rest of it who've been involved in heavy
if you just
laundering.
hold on to that thought,
You
let me
want to
also bring in my colleague Shuja Thakur.
one
We've been,
of the
right from the
stakeholders.
beginning of the show, been trying to get to him. Finally, the line is sorted. Shuja, I just want to understand from you, apart from what the guests on the show have put forward, do you also see, and you would know because you've been talking to a lot of people, the politicians, the common people on the ground as well, do you also see a sense of insecurity or mistrust when it comes to, noise around Article 350 or 370 or 35A? Is there a sense that Amit Shah could be moving in on these issues as well? All right. I would like to apologize to our viewers. This is the third time that we have tried to get in Shuja, but there seems to be a problem on the line there. Gopal Krishna Agarwal, I want you to come in on this, and then I will go to Inamun Nabi. There was a lot of noise around Article 370 and 35A in the run-up to the Lok Sabha elections. We saw Amit Shah also, in fact, coming out and saying that this is our commitment as far as our agenda is concerned. Are we now going to see the government making a move on this? Would Amit Shah, the new Home Minister, utilize this opportunity to send out a message when it comes to Article 370 and 35A?
Ankit, already our manifesto is very clear that we don't consider Article 370 which was in itself when it was implemented that it will go slowly, but over the years we did not see that movement in that line of direction. So ultimately BJP, as far as our manifesto is concerned, we consider Article 370 has to go. That's very
Sir,
important.
You've been saying
and
this.
How it will go,
telling you now, I'm asking you.
The way
I am
we are
asking you
working,
now,
that
you
is
are
the
back
only
with
way.
a bigger majority than your first term.
Yes.
Why haven't we heard this on priority? A lot of people in this country have voted for the Bharatiya Janata Party because possibly they want the abrogating of Article 370 and 35A. Is the government still feels that they are not confident enough to take up these contentious issues?
No, Ankit, you understand, 35A is not what our party says and considers that 35A was not put through the right constitutional process. So that discussion is going on in the Supreme Court whether 35A is is constitutionally valid or not. Let the Supreme Court come out with a decision and then it will be decided. With regard to 370, already GST
Sir,
and other actions, this
make
ordinance,
this noise in the elections, and then when the time comes for you to act on it, you are giving me Supreme Court and so forth. Good. Inamun Nabi, is that going to be a contentious issue that you are going to, in fact, be looking out for if Amit Shah speaks or, in fact, moves ahead as far as Article 370 and 35A is concerned? Very quickly.
Mr. Ankit, I am hopeful that
we
the
have
slogan
already
of
moved in that direction.
this new government,
GST has been implemented.
Gopal Krishna Agarwal, hold on.
Please, sir. Just a minute. So the slogan of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas the vishwas of they have to earn the vishwas of the Kashmiri people as well. From Lakhanpur, from Jammu to Ladakh, including Kashmir, we are in this favor that this should not be touched. Article 370 and 35 should not be touched.
Okay.
Democracy means listening the majority. So majority are in this favor that Article 370 and 35A should not be touched. If you are touching it in your statements by trying to fiddle it, you are further alienating the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay,
which I
we'll have
think
to wait
should,
and see.
should
It will
not,
be
should
a
be
very,
avoided this
very
time.
important and a delicate balancing act that the new Home Minister, in fact, will have to perform as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. From terrorism to, in fact, winning the trust of the people of Kashmir, that seems to be, as Prime Minister has also many times said, it is about time to bring back the Kashmiriyat and Insaniyat into the dialogue between Delhi and Srinagar. We'll have to wait and see what the new Home Minister's agenda and the outline to implement this, in fact, for the people of Jammu and Kashmir under the new government is concerned. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me on that burning question debate.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.